Making your first $100,000 this year wholesaling real estate. In today's video, I'm going to share with you all how I was able to generate over $100,000 of revenue in my real estate wholesaling business. I'm going to talk about my mistakes that I made and also just share my experience on what I learned to get multiple deals after just getting your first wholesale deal. About a week or two ago, I talked about step-by-step how to close your first wholesale deal. I went into the different softwares and just a whole tutorial what I did in order to close my first deal. But today's video is more of a bird's eye view on being and creating a business that gives you multiple deals after that first deal. So to start with, I just want to share with you all some mistakes I made in getting my first wholesale deal and what I learned from those mistakes in order to be consistent, because after closing my first wholesale deal, about a year later, I was able to hit that six-figure mark. So I have a video on me closing my first wholesale deal. I go way more in detail, but in today's video, I'll share with you all a condensed version relating to hitting that six-figure mark. So some mistakes I made. Obviously, I wasn't being consistent. I was using multiple marketing strategies. I wasn't being focused, and I didn't learn the data. I didn't understand how many actions I would have to do in order to get a lead, a motivated seller, or even get a call or an appointment with sellers. And so when I started tracking all that, I was able to close my first deal. And so those are different principles that I was able to take into getting deals afterwards. So that's the first thing I want to talk about on hitting that six-figure mark in your real estate business is being consistent. So number one, being consistent with your marketing. Choose one marketing, try it out 2 to 3 months. If it hasn't worked after 3 months, let's say you try cold calling next, or texting, or PPC. Try something out for a long time. Give it a good amount of time to mature, right? Because I think for me and my business, I would be doing all different strategies at the same time. I would just try some things out for like 2 or 3 weeks and then just end it and then come back to it a few months later. It was messy. So that's why it took me like 8 months to close my first deal. But hopefully these different ways will help you all condense that to get your first wholesale deal and deals afterwards. So consistent with just choosing one marketing strategy. The next thing about consistency is just being consistent in that one marketing strategy and just learning your numbers. So let's say you are doing cold calling and you're trying it out for 3 months. Make sure you cold call 3 hours a day, 5 days a week, right? And stick to that schedule and be consistent. And actually, while you're doing it, write down some key performance indicators. Like, okay, obviously I'm calling 3 hours a day every week. I notice I pick up 10 leads. Okay, so if I called 6 hours a day, maybe I'll pick up 20 leads a week. And then that's when you can start learning about, scaling your business and then potentially hiring someone to do 3 hours while you still cold call. Then eventually just hiring out other people to do your cold calling. And so just keep on learning about those numbers. And then once you get your first deal, you understand how you got your first deal, and you can implement those same practices on getting deals on a consistent monthly basis. So the next thing I want to talk about on hitting that six-figure mark in your business is just 2 practical ways that you can do for a year, honestly, in order to make over $100,000. And number one, I talked about it in my previous video about a step-by-step tutorial on closing your first deal, and that's essentially driving for dollars. I truly believe if you're consistent with that, if you pick a time every single day for 5 days a week to drive around your neighborhoods, drive around zip codes and different places around where you want to wholesale real estate, you can create a six-figure business just by you yourself driving for dollars. And I would say my first year of making that $100,000, I would say over 50% of that money came from driving for dollars leads, because those lists are just so unique, and you just get out there, you feel like a real estate investor, you're looking at distressed properties, you're taking notes down and different things like that. And then from that list, you cold call, or you send direct mail, or you send texting, whatever your consistent marketing strategy is, make sure you contact the owners afterwards. The second practical way I want to talk about, other than driving for dollars, is just pulling a list from like Propstream. You all are interested in Propstream, check the link down below. With my link, you get 7 free days trial, and it just really helps support this channel. It's the top rank real estate investing software out there to find a whole bunch of information about property information, distressed properties, motivated sellers, and everything like that. So check out the link down below. So the thing I like about Propstream is that you can pull thousands upon thousands of lists every single month. So it helps with that consistency strategy, right? Okay, since I can pull this amount of lists, I know when I pull, let's say 5,000 leads a month, I'm able to cold call this list and I'm able to generate like 30 or 60 leads a month. And so you can just replicate that every single month in order to get multiple deals. And that's one of the biggest strategies I like. And you don't have to go out. You can do everything from your laptop with a dialer or just hiring a cold caller calling those leads for you. So far we spoke about my story. I shared with you all the mistakes I made in closing my first wholesale deal. I talked about consistency in picking one marketing strategy and just being consistent with that marketing strategy. We also talked about 2 practical ways that you can do in order to consistently get deals in your first year or in a year closing wholesale real estate and just hitting that 6-figure mark. The next thing I want to say on what helped me hit that 6-figure mark is working with other wholesalers. So I was able to do multiple joint ventures. Essentially, I would find a property, maybe it's in a different area I don't know about, or maybe it's a higher priced property, or there's something strange with a property. Like for example, I dealt with a fire damaged property. I just couldn't find a buyer for that. I don't know how to find buyers that buy fire damaged properties. And so I just went to a bigger wholesaler around my town and I was able to close that deal and make like 5 figures off that deal, which is amazing for a JV partnership. So make sure you all connect with other wholesalers, investors around your town in order to hit that 6-figure mark, right? If you're struggling, it's okay you all to ask for help. It's okay to reach out to people on Facebook because you never know who's willing to help you. So yeah, just make sure you build up that JV network in your area. The next and final thing I want to talk about on hitting that 6-figure mark is just staying focused and not being lazy. I think for me, when I was doing well, I was consistently getting deals, I kind of took my mind off the prize and I didn't scale when I had to scale, right? And just make sure you take those opportunities to be like, okay, so now instead of just closing these deals, I need to hire someone to cold call for me. I need to hire someone to follow up for me. I need someone to go on appointments, to answer calls, to work with the data. Okay, I'm going to invest in a CRM system, not just stick to Microsoft Excel, right? Those different strategies really help you hit that 6-figure mark and beyond. And just on that topic, it's always good to keep on learning. If you're reading a book every month, keep on buying books, keep on being consistent. And I'm preaching to myself, you all, because I think when I stopped concentrating on the wholesale deals and concentrating on other things, and I kind of went lazy with reading, with my marketing strategy, things kind of slowed down for me. But when I started going back to those things, it started to ramp up again. So make sure you're consistent with all those things. So hitting 6 figures in any business can be difficult. I know it's a huge goal for a lot of business you're in, but I think with these practical steps and principles, you will be able to hit that mark. So hopefully by me sharing my mistakes that I made with you all, talking about consistency, having JV partners, driving for dollars, pulling lists, and just being able to make a scalable business from the offset really helps you hit that 6-figure mark. All right, you all, hope you all enjoyed this video. A lot of you all watch my videos but are not subscribed. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, like, and comment down below on what you all are doing in order to hit 6 figures in your wholesaling business. All right, talk to you all later. Peace.